Are we already rolling?
Yep, you're rolling.
Okay.
Rolling.
Skinny tea, hey?
What?
I don't know. We should try it.
What'd you say?
Skinny tea?
Skinny tea. Oh, they're talking about like the person skinny tea.
Who's skinny? Oh, no.
Who's skinny tea?
Like the football player we talked about last time.
Oh,
Skinny
what?
B.
Okay, but what is skinny tea though?
Isn't that tea where you drink and you get skinny?
Holy shit! How much does to drink?
Devin would be chugging it by the liter if that was okay.
And to be alive if you can't do that.
That's my Christmas prep.
What do you weigh right now?
You know what?
Yeah, okay. Welcome to Strong and Petty, episode 41.
I went.
You're thinking long and hard about it, so
I
that
went
means
to
we're
the-
not going to get the right answer.
Well,
So
I
you
went-
might as well not even say
Yeah,
anything.
I went to the Atollo thing this weekend,
Yeah.
and
Hold on, let's get into that.
Okay.
Okay, well, welcome to episode 41 of Strong and Petty. Here at the Whiskey Tango Studios in St. Vital, Manitoba. Dave Beakley, Devin Penner, myself, Tyler Cole, or Coleman Wrestling.
holy,
That's weird.
just a wrestling promo.
Fuck, man. Tyler Sigurdsson. That's weird. Here in the studio, and Devin
Penner.
was the only guy. Unbelievably, Devin was actually the guy who did something this weekend, which is pretty crazy.
That is talk about stepping out of my
Sorry,
shell.
You're always busy, but you don't do like things that are exactly exciting to talk about. Like you did drywalling, or you put in flooring, or things like that.
I
So,
bought 2 houses this weekend. That's got to be
yeah,
exciting.
So
Yeah.
one of these days, Beaks is
Yeah.
gonna do something. We're really gonna have something going on this podcast. But
You come in clean shaven one day, okay?
yeah.
What happened?
You were at the Atollo
Yeah, I
Toy
went-
Drive 7th annual thing.
Yeah, I went to the Atollo thing. Thanks to Gord for making me come out of my shell. Because really, what do we see on this podcast? Just for Deadlift for Dreams, just go and pull a number. Doesn't matter. Put your ego aside. Well,
Yeah.
easier for me to tell you guys to do it, but not so easy for me to do.
Yeah.
And so I showed up there, and they're like, Gord's like, oh, just write down your weight, whatever you were this morning. I'm like, oh, I didn't weigh myself, so probably like, 250.
Yeah,
you're doing the
probably.
Wilk score, right? I walk up to the
I probably
paper.
dropped 17 pounds in a week.
I walk up to the paper. They got a scale underneath the paper.
Oh, nice. Tremendous.
Take all like my jacket, everything off I could.
What was the number?
264. I'm like, oh,
264. So you're officially in the 120 category.
yeah.
at
I'm
least.
like, shit. Yeah. Hey, listen, Travis Kloss, I'm coming for you.
Coming for the 120 division is in big trouble if Devin
Yeah.
doesn't lose any more weight.
So, what a facility that guy has.
It's a pretty amazing. We started talking about it last time. I asked if you guys had been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just got sidetracked as we do. And I was going to say that I think that, and it's a big statement to make as a gym owner, that if I didn't own a gym in the city, that might be where I would train.
See, and I wouldn't.
Well,
Yeah.
let's get into
Yeah.
it.
Now, not because of facility, equipment, phenomenal. Like everything's Atlantis. It's all new, man. Like there's so much nice stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a bodybuilding gym,
Yeah.
and I don't like the. The 5XL shirts on medium guys, and like your socks have to be pulled up to your knees and match your shoes to your shorts to your tank top. I roll in with silicone pants from working, and that's the way I train.
Right.
So, but
It's a different vibe.
It's
for
a different
sure.
vibe, and
But
that's
the
not my vibe.
The facility is like.
Yeah. Hence the reason I built my own place.
Right.
But the facility is if you weren't like, I don't think there's a gym in the city that compares in terms of the quality of equipment and the vibe that place or the atmosphere that place would give if you're a bodybuilder.
If you're a bodybuilder, I can't think of anywhere.
There's
else
there's nothing. No,
I don't think so. But and I know what you're saying is that for you it might not make sense. For me, I probably I find issues with it myself too. But just in terms of like well stocked, well taken care of, clean.
Well, I went back to Pat. I'm like, that's your gym 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Like 100%.
And I like the owner.
But did you know you cannot have chalk in that gym?
Oh, that would change my opinion then, actually.
So I thought I was going to get tackled. Like it got almost. I was a little scared for a second. So we roll up and we was just doing the squats. I was last deadlifting, and the guy's like, I need some chalk. He's going for 6. Like guys, like the Drake's team, that Drake, Reed, and Brendan.
Yeah.
Like those guys put up some serious numbers.
Yeah.
Like that Brendan guy squatted 635.
Yeah.
And I was impressed. I really was. But anyways, he's like, I need chalk for the bar.
He buried it too.
Yeah, and he's like, grab me liquid chalk. And I'm like, fuck, screw liquid chalk, man. I run to my bag and I brought my own block of chalk. And I whipped that block out and I started unwrapping it. And no, everyone's just screaming at me. And I'm like, and I'm caught off guard. And you know what? My bad, because I've had my own place for so many years that I just do what I want.
Never even thought about
Right? And, I'm like, not my gym, not my rules.
Right.
And the owner's like, no chalk allowed in here. And I was and just being me, kind of, like with the Strava stuff, I'm like, and I just throw my brick. And I'm like, I didn't know it's a fucking gay CrossFit event. And I just walk away. And I kind of saw that right out loud. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Like, what a dick thing to say. But anyways, I understood it's his gym, his rules. But the gym is immaculately clean. So, I get it.
That's how you keep it that way. Is no trouble.
Yeah, so I understand. But I was like, as soon as you think powerlifting, you think we can chalk the shit out of this stuff.
Yeah.
That would be a non-starter for me, unfortunately, if the place didn't allow chalk. But I mean,
his gym, his rules, man.
Like you say, that's ultimately it's up to if I don't if I don't like it, I show up my own gym, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, dude. So we did the event, some big lifts. Of course, Drake won with the bench. My goal was just to deadlift more than Drake could bench.
Yeah, you did that. I saw.
And
it,
I managed to pull somewhat of a half-ass lift. I was pretty happy with that.
Did you see what he pulled?
I heard over 6.
Yeah, no, I pulled 600.
You heard wrong.
600
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was uncalibrated plate, so it was probably 3% more.
Yeah, 3%.
'Cause it wouldn't be
yeah,
less.
they're always higher. That's for
They're
sure.
always higher.
Always, yeah.
The rubber coating adds.
Yeah.
It's the steel that's 45 and the rubber adds.
Congrats on that, though. That's a nice pull for you.
You know what? I went in there, started 495. I haven't deadlifted since Manitoba was in 2022. I've done a couple of workouts with my back. My back's feeling decent, so I'm like, you know what? I did 2 banded pulls the last 2 weeks. I'm like, I got to get my body used to motion. And then you gain all this weight. The leverage is different anyways. Like, getting to the bar is a mofo.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Holy smokes. How do you tie your shoes? You guys.
Heavy breathing. I got to move my leg out of the way of my stomach, and then I get down in there. I
Yeah.
take one deep breath first, and then I go down and start doing it fast, and then
Yeah.
hopefully I get
If
done
I
in
had to
time.
live like this, Velcro.
Yeah, that's the
shoes
legit answer. And Jan always makes fun of me because
4-foot shoe horns. But anyway, so I went in 495. That went well. Yeah, 550. I'm like, that went well. I'm like, yeah, whatever. If I'm going to fail, I'm either fail at something cooler like 600 than 595.
Absolutely.
Or 585. So I'm like, 600. That went well. I'm like, should have just won 635 or 640 and beat my old PR.
It was a pretty easy lift.
Second, it got above my knees. It was nothing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I'm like, so of course I get a bunch of the messages. So you coming back next year to compete?
Well,
I don't know, man. I'm so far behind, but
let's not put that completely out of our minds then, if that's possible, right?
I met the guy who we did the fundraiser for. I forget his name, but great guy. I didn't realize the whole fundraiser for his daughter Emily,
Yes,
who passed away at 15 months old from cancer, which is just having 2 daughters. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
So I was more than happy to donate. The 6 teams. I was told there were going to be 8 to 10, but only 6 showed up.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah.
People don't show up. People say they're going to do it and then not do it. And
But Gord did well on the bench. He would. I think he had a bigger number in him, but his knee just out of surgery, and then he leg drove on the 330 pretty good, and his knee tweaked, and he got off there hobbling. I'm like, and being his coach, he's like, I think I'm done. I'm like, oh yeah, we're done. We're not delaying this 6 weeks of rehab.
You know your knee is fucked when you tweak it on a bench press.
Yeah. Just like pushing off, it was too much.
Yeah. That's rough.
And then Amy did it. Amy was our from.
Yes, yeah. Amy's great.
She hit a PR squat.
Saw that. Very, very easy squat.
She wanted to go like 265, and me and Gordon like just I roll into just being it. Don't be a pussy. We're not having pussies on our team. Before her first squat, she's getting underneath the bar, and the place is quiet, and Gord yells out, "Don't embarrass us!" she's super timid, right? Like, just a bunch of asshole lifters.
Do you remember what she ended up hitting?
280 she hit, and
Great
then
number,
we pushed her for 290, and she didn't quite make it.
Wasn't there, eh? Well, good for her though. 280, it's a big squat.
So
big squat for a woman who's relatively new to the idea of strength training.
Oh,
I think.
and of course I'm dropping the hint to a bunch of guys like that. The Reed guy pulled a 750 deadlift. 720 was already a PR for him, and then he pulled 750.
Did he got that high, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and he said 720 was a PR, and then he went 750, and he came and talked to me afterwards. I'm like, you ever thought of a strongman? Like, he's
no
like,
kidding.
never really. He's like, I have thought of it. I'm like, well, come on out to my gym. I'll gladly show you the ropes. And Jordan Hanna was there too.
Yeah.
I'm just helping out, and Casey. And so Casey's helping Reed with his deadlift, which is nice because he came over after. I'm like, you correct your form. Like he's strength up your glutes a bit, correct your back. Said you will pull 800 in 2024.
Is he pulling conventional or sumo?
Conventional.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not that, I'm not going to be that guy who's like.
No,
but for strongman, I just mean
the speed from the floor to his knees was unreal.
That's good.
Once he got above his knees, he went into a hitch, and his upper back was way rounded, and his glutes were a little soft. I said, you correct those things, which Casey will help him with.
Right.
He'll pull 800 this next year.
That's great.
No doubt about it. Because, I was really impressed. Cool event. I'm really happy I went. Sorry about the chalk thing. If you're in Winnipeg and need a bodybuilding gym, that place is phenomenal.
Seems to be the place to go. Yeah. It was really. I didn't realize that there was. Honestly, I think there was anybody that was close to an 800 like that. That's pretty cool.
Neither did I.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He started warming up, and I was like, his first pull was a 700. I'm like,
I thought I watched them all. Maybe I didn't see that.
Yeah, so I was pretty because we were talking how many 800-pound pullers are there in Manitoba? There's got to be under 15
in Manitoba, right? Like right now,
I was going to say like 5.
Yeah, I don't know if there's some gym guys don't know about or
no, I don't think that there is.
So probably under 5 right now.
I think honestly, I think that 700 is kind of that number where it's like, yeah, there's probably some guys out there that we're not aware of that are
Pulling 7?
that are doing 7 on the ground, off the ground.
I think like
Conventional we're talking to.
like a Heinemaki or a Zylstra.
But now,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just possible guys that we might not know their numbers.
Did Zylstra ever deadlift much, though? If I'm correct, Zylstra's very calculated in terms of injury risk.
I think you might have had his deadlift wrong. Oh no, never mind. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. These are the squat numbers from Brendan. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
I think I
750.
said anything.
And you watch the speed to his
I just wanted to be wrong very badly.
And you watch the speed to his knees. I was super impressed. I'm like, this guy just walks up and rips it. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sick. It's nice to see that there's more guys who are getting there. Like, if I'm trying to think, sorry, I was looking at my phone when you asked that last question. But if I'm trying to think of people who even ever pulled 800 in Manitoba, Dom. That's the only one I know of for sure.
Darren Mailing.
Darren Mailing has.
Yeah, he pulled 805 back in the late 2000s.
That's insane.
Yeah, and he squatted 765.
Damn, that's an early,
And
like a relatively early
and
time
his
to be
wife,
hitting 800 deadlifts.
Christina, spotted him on that 765 squat.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mailing was, he's still very strong, but was ridiculously strong and ahead of
the
his
time.
Wow.
And if he wouldn't have went back over to bodybuilding, I think because he pulled that, he was 330 pounds at the time.
Yeah.
And then he cut to 225 to do bodybuilding.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm not familiar with a guy like say like a Tyler Hildebrand or
See, and I never
or
met him, so I
SB.
don't know. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they pulled, and it's weird because the deadlift is one of those numbers where it's like. So usually when we talk about the strongman specific lifts, like say log, stones, those have really exponentially risen in the past like 10 years or whatever. Let's say even longer than that, 15, 20 years, where like the old numbers are like literally sometimes the women are hitting them now. You know what I mean? It's like, or the very, very light guys are hitting the open weight numbers that used to be in the past. But deadlifting is one of those things that's always been around. It's always been happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even when you watch the old numbers at World's Strongest Man, they're still pulling 800 pounds even back then. So it's like it's not crazy to think that a guy like, you know, if he was a really good strongman, like say Hildebrand or SB or I'm sorry, Darren Mailing.
Yeah.
Like it's not crazy to think that they would have 800 pounds in the tank at that even back then too.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, back when in the early 2000s, when you were competing, do you remember what the world record deadlifts would have been around then? Or what was huge numbers back then? I know 800 was almost unheard of already back then, besides the world stage. I'm talking percentage-wise. Has the deadlift max increased by 10% over the last 15 years? Or you figure more?
I think
you can-
more.
You can look it up, but I think like so Eddie said 11 in 2015, and it hasn't been touched really since the Thor one, but it's I'm trying to think. It wouldn't like around that time. Like I feel like 1,000 would be very rare. Whereas most of the pro, like those top level like world's pros have 1,000 deadlifts.
They're all.
Not just say most, but a lot of them do.
They're within striking distance.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Even the guys who are like say like a Paulo Dwyer, who's like a sort of that mid to lower tier in terms of that world scale. I think he has an 880 or something like that.
Did you watch his stuff, guys?
Yeah.
Did you see that sumo pull?
I don't.
So a guy pulled a 505
Throne
or 5.
showed me the pull without the thing.
505 sumo deadlift, like breaking the record, and it was on a kabuki bar, which is like
The whippiest bar in the
Yeah.
world.
oh yeah, it's like a banana.
Yeah.
The one side of the weights like doesn't even leave the ground, and the guy is softer than our director here, our producer.
His hand. Well, to be clear, though, I'll preface this by saying I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
But
I couldn't do it.
His hand was like he had figure eights, and literally there was like that between the bar and his.
And the one side of the weights barely left the ground. Had lockout.
awesome.
The lockout wasn't locked out. And everyone's cheering, and they give him the white lights. I'm like,
There's some sort of weird thing that Throne showed me. There was like 2 events. I think one was in Germany and one was in Austria, where they allowed straps
yeah,
in powerlifting. So they're sumo pulling with straps to the rule, which is like I hope that doesn't become a thing because
No.
like that,
I've never heard of that, but
it's a brand new thing. And Throne's just messaged me. He's like, I really hope this doesn't become a thing that we have to start dealing with in powerlifting.
what fed?
XYZ, I have no idea.
no LGP.
Yeah, I don't know what fed it was, but it's certainly not like an IPF thing or whatever, obviously,
Yeah,
or even
yeah,
like
yeah.
a known fed, I think, but it's just something that people are trying to see these guys get these crazy numbers. And the problem with that is that when you start getting crazy numbers, people start paying attention, and we start paying attention. We start seeing these rule things, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
I need to clarify something though. At the Atala comp, I did pull the heaviest weight raw. Everyone else used straps and sleeves.
wow.
So I mean, I was number one.
Sleeves usually a big help on a
Shut up.
deadlift.
Shut up.
A pair of
Give
sleeves.
me something here. We're on the same team, guys.
Why did you go no straps on that one?
Because I just find with straps, I lose tension by relying on the straps. in my upper back.
Interesting. Okay.
And I was good at, I was double overhanding. I'm like, yeah, do we cock and try double overhand this? And I'm like, no, I'll just go over under
Double
this.
overhand 600.
I was going to double overhand and just work way up and see how far I get. But I'm like, what if I fail lift because my grip failed? Like, and they don't let me relift.
You look all weak, just like rolling out of your
So
head.
I double overhand to like 450. I'm like, 500. I'm like, go out the stage. I'm like, nah, maybe I'll. So 500. I'm like, because 450, I just stood and held. I'm like, I can double overhand 500, maybe even 550 today. And I went to 500. I'm looking like, what if I miss this lift? They don't give me another one.
Yeah. So the 750 deadlift was the heaviest deadlift of the day?
Yeah.
And that was on a standard power bar?
No,
Or was it
deadlift bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had a choice. They're like, you can
thank
choose
God.
between a stiff bar or a regular bar or a deadlift bar. I'm like, do I look retarded?
or an elephant bar off of lifts. Whatever you'd prefer.
Yeah.
Wait, I was going to say
Was yours on a regular bar?
my what?
Deadlift?
My heaviest?
Yeah.
No, deadlift bar.
No deadlift bar?
Or no, comma, a deadlift bar.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was a deadlift.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. I think I've hit 700 low sevens on a stiff bar, but that's it.
Oh, Dolly.
I was gonna say we just speaking of like cool little feats of strength. Anna, not Mom Loli, but the other Anna.
Yeah.
we call her Tall Anna because we're running out of nicknames. She shouldered a 200-pound sandbag the other day.
I think I saw the video.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
seen
Yeah.
it.
just insane. Like
Yeah.
we've weighed that out. It weighs 200 pounds, and she lifted it from the ground to her fucking shoulder.
You know what was crazy about that is that she barely shouldered it. So the weight was so front loaded.
Yeah,
Unreal.
yeah.
And then she got the second pop.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause as soon as it did that, I'm like, well, this will be the fail video. And then,
Yeah.
Of her leg
she'll
buckling or
have
something.
Yeah.
she'll have the
She
successful
just
try.
kept fighting that motherfucker.
Yeah.
She was not putting that thing down.
Yeah. Which is good because as like an Olympic lifter first,
Yeah.
that you don't have that, you don't develop that
Yeah.
grinding strength.
That's a great
You-
point.
You
Yeah.
hit that pop and you have to hit that.
That's interesting.
Or
yeah.
you know what I
'Cause
mean?
that was something we were sort of dealing with, where she'd get very close, and it was like, it's just not there. I'm like, you're right, because it's not the same as Olympic lifting, where it's either a 0 or a 1. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like we can really tough this one out, especially with a
Yeah.
sandbag to shoulder. If you, as
She
long as you're willing to fight it,
battled.
and then she finally found that. She finally found that killer instinct with it, and just would not
When
put
she
it
did
down.
the second pop and her leg buckled a bit,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is a fail.
No,
Like, she's
yeah.
going to hurt herself. And then all she gets, I'm like, oh, no, she is just stronger than
Yeah.
me.
No, she's
That's
a
okay.
monster.
Yeah,
What-
cutting
what-
weight to compete in the U82 women's.
what was the one I emceed? Morris?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So watching her lift there, you see things where if you develop that grinding strength,
Yeah.
it'll make her a lot better because she had a few lifts there where if you can't do it the way you've always done it, it's
Right.
not in you.
Right.
Where someone who maybe isn't as strong as you can like continue pushing through those sticking points.
Right.
So when she hit that bag, as soon as it landed, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then she held it
Yeah.
and got under it and got a second hip drive, and it
Yeah.
was very impressive.
She when we did the Forge deadlift press thing, she hit like a 425 or something deadlift off the axle with the 18-inch pick, and that's a really good example of one of those lifts where it's like you can sometimes sit there for like, I don't know, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, just like pulling and nothing happening, and just trying to recruit more and more motor units until eventually it just breaks that 1 inch off the ground, and then you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Right. Or like a really heavy box squat would be kind of the same idea, or a pin press or something like that, where it's like
Yeah.
you're like, there's no fucking way this is going anywhere, and then all of a sudden you just break it, and you're like, there, now it's actually pretty
It's
easy
such a
after that.
rewarding feeling.
Yeah, it is. It really
Yeah.
is. Yeah, and that's the one thing I will say. We were kind of pooping all over the 18-inch deadlift last time, but that is one thing that's really cool about it, is that you can sit there and like it can look like it's going absolutely nowhere, and then you just apply that 2% more
Yeah.
of your max effort, and all of a sudden it just kind of starts to slide up, and it looks really cool in that way, at least. Excuse me. Any other highlights from the thing over there?
Tolo? No.
Any lowlights you want to talk about?
No, actually, you know what? There was not many missed lifts. A lot of people hit PRs.
That's good.
It was funny, I guess, because Casey was helping, and so I was chatting with him a lot, and they started way late. So I show up, and I had to get to a gathering and stuff, and I roll, and I guess just because he knows I put on comps and how much of a bit of a Nazi I can be at that, and it was like 11:17. I looked at my phone, and he's like, Devin, I know we're running late. He's like, but this is just a fun event. Like, I'm like,
You're like, fuck you, it's
yeah.
fine.
I'm like, Casey, I know Gord already warned me that this is just gonna be a fun event. It's gonna run very nonchalant, and not to get up. I'm like, I'm fine. I already got warned that this isn't gonna be.
But that's one of those things that, you know, if you can, I don't know, I'm not telling them what to do or anything, but
Yeah.
like, it's worth being a stickler on time for those kind of
Well, but
events.
they had-
'cause
Especially
otherwise-
starting time.
Yeah,
I was a
starting
little
time because you lose
discouraged.
10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and all of a sudden it's
Shit can happen during a show.
Yeah.
That's unplanned.
right,
But you got to start on time.
right, yeah.
But how, like, he had, which props to Adam, because he had full media coverage there. CTV, like the whole competition, they stayed and interviewed everybody.
That's great.
And I'm like, Deadlift for Dreams, I couldn't get anybody out to St. Malo
Right.
the day of. I couldn't
I think
get
it's
any local
location.
media from Steinbach to come out to St. Malo. And I'm like, and this, I'm glad he got media. I'm glad that these things are like,
Yeah.
you had at your gym, they're leading to nationals, and you had something else there too that,
The city
oh,
TV thing.
yes,
and-
which is awesome. We're finally getting exposure in our sport.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just jealous. Like, why can't we get it on the? I'm not like but Deadlift for Dreams is a big one for me or for you, and I,
It's a big Manitoba story, though. It's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
it's
we got no media coverage for even nationals.
yeah. They didn't give a
Strongest
fuck.
woman in Canada.
They don't give a
Nothing.
shit.
Not a damn.
Oh, they don't care about that. This
Yeah.
is all about the fundraiser.
But and it was
yeah.
the cancer thing, and I get that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad they got the media coverage. It's not that I'm. It's just me being jealous.
I was going to say
sure.
before too.
Yeah.
Adam, the owner of Atalo.
Yeah, he's probably got some connections.
Yeah. Well, but I'm not saying for that. Just I was going to say easily the most jack gym owner in Manitoba.
Dude, the guy's got striations in his triceps
guy
just
is-
walking around.
He looks stage ready all the
Really?
time. He's fucking.
His triceps remind me of like Heinemannke back at the McDonald's, like where it was just
yeah.
He's just huge.
his legs, everything. I'm like, this is just It looks like a drawn cartoon figure walking around.
Yeah. He
like
does
his
it.
proportions. He's so massive.
Yeah, if you follow the Italo page too, he trains hard. He looks good. It's just nice to see somebody just kind of living the part when it comes to that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, what
To,
I mean? Like,
to
I
a
really,
degree, to a T.
yeah, like I
to a
really
T, not a
pride myself on being somebody where it's like people see me training, they see me competing. That's why it's
Yeah.
good, and so it's nice to see somebody else who's in the. No, I'm kidding. Who's looking the part of a gym owner? That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, oh.
So I figured we
people
have,
own jungle gyms.
we have a little bit of time here still before things kind of start really rolling. But I figured this could be as good a time as any that we can start talking a little bit about our upcoming strongman season, kind of what we have going on, what we have planned already.
I got an Insta Karma story to tell you that you guys get a kick out of.
Please.
Maybe we'll do. So, because you ever get those guys on the highway, and you do.
You know what I hate about winter? You're not trying to not slide into the
Yeah.
asshole in front of you.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
wait, never
yeah,
told me
so
that.
I almost caused that one, but you get those guys in the left lane, 105, 115. Every time you come out to the vehicle, they quickly speed up and not let you get in the lane, and then you get behind them, you pass the guy, and then they slow down and let you pass.
Yeah.
So I had that Friday. I'm headed out. Had to go meet a plumber at a house I have, and this guy in left lane, white Honda Civic on the perimeter. Oh, and he knows it's me because I mean it's not like my truck's not deckled to hell.
Yeah.
And I'm in the right lane. I'm at 114 on cruise, which is what I run. And he whips up past, and he slows down. We're coming up the vehicle, and he whips up. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I get behind him, get back in the right lane like you're supposed to when you're not passing. You get out of the left lane, get back in the right lane, and he slows down. And now we're back bumper to front bumper. And I'm coming up to this vehicle quick. This SUV is probably doing about 95 in the right lane, which is fine because you're in the right lane. I throw my blinker on to get in the left lane, and that cocksucker speeds up. And I'm like, well, I'm not scared to hit you with my truck. So I whip over.
I will kill you.
Yeah, but the problem with having a brand new truck is they have sensors. And if you get too close to someone, it sets off alarm and locks up your brakes. So
That is redneck disapproval. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
and I can't figure out how to turn it off.
Yeah, that is
So
not. That is not
I go to
very
start
cool.
going in the left lane really fast, so I don't hit the guy in front of me, and my brakes lock up, which means the Civic has to lock his brakes because I'm coming in. Tough tits, man. So, anyways, I get in front of this guy, and he's pissed. And we're going by Henderson, and he tries getting back right lane to pass me. I guess to, come say something. I'm like, I'll gladly pull this over and fight him. And he gets beside, but he can't get beside me because of his car. So he whips back behind me, and I get past the car. But there's another one he doesn't see, and he whips out again in the right lane by Lage. Can't get past me again, so he's even more mad. And he whips back in the left lane, and I get past the car, and I use my blinker like I'm supposed to, and roll into that right lane like a cocksucker, like just being arrogant. And I'm laughing so hard because I know how mad he is. And this truck gets in front of him, so it's even more bad now because and they both come by me. I'm doing 114. They come by me like I'm standing, so they're doing minimum 130, 135. Not realizing there was a ghost car in front of me.
Oh, buddy.
Amazing.
They come flying past me, and that car lights up, but he dead stops the whole perimeter. So I'm like, oh, this guy just seen what I did. I'm getting tagged for this. Like, he stopped in the middle of both lanes. People are dodging because everyone has to like lock. We're coming over the overpass of Lajmodia there, And as I stop, I'm dead stop in the right lane.
Good
The
awareness,
truck's on the
cop.
left lane. Yeah, truck's in the left lane. The cars in the truck's in the left shore, cars in the left lane, and the cop waves me past and nails those two. I'm like, oh frick! I was laughing so hard, and I got off that perimeter as quick as I could. 'Cause I'm like, they're gonna tell him what happened,
gotta get
and
the
he's
hell
coming
outta
for me.
here.
But
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
you always wish that those guys that just flew past like assholes got nailed. Or it was. So if you drive white Honda Civic, got nailed on Friday, fuck you.
Yeah, suck our dick.
I had a good one driving up north. I don't know how we completely got away with you tried to
Yeah,
start,
but
but
we'll-
We got time. It's all good.
it was like 6 cars going up number 6 towards Thompson. 6 cars. It's 2-lane highway, so you got to pick and choose when you pass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the back of all these vehicles, and we're going like 100 on the dot, which is super annoying. And it's probably been like 15 minutes. Finally, I'm like, man, I just got to take a chance here. And as I pull out, the vehicle in front of me, no signal, no nothing, whips in front of me.
Oh.
Like he decided after I decided to go.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I don't know what's coming in front of him, so I'm going to have to wait my turn again. So I pull back in, and he bombs past everyone. Like you kind of have to when you're doing
Right.
like a multi-car
It's that
pass.
close, yeah.
And everyone was doing 100 because the front car was a cop car.
Oh,
And he got pulled over.
amazing.
And I was driving up there with my acting coach because we were going up there to do a seminar. And we probably laughed for like 5 kilometers. Like, that would have been me going 140, 150 to pass all these vehicles. And
That's
I don't
amazing.
need that right now.
And you would have went faster than him because your intention would have been to pass him as well. The fact
Yeah.
he pulled in front of you, if you would have kept on it, you would have went past him too.
yeah.
That's,
yeah,
that's always the
totally.
intention. You never let him win.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you go past
Yeah.
him. It doesn't matter if you're off your governor, you're going to pass him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was
Fuck
very
both of those guys
satisfying.
then, I guess.
That's some funny shit.
So I think we could probably get into the first 2 that we have coming up this season
Yeah.
because we have more that is looking very good and pretty much locked in. But until we get the actual the contract signed, as it were, we'll leave those alone. So the first thing that we're gonna have as part of the 2024 Manitoba Strongman season will be either the 9th or the 16th. I think we said the 9th, but the 16th might actually be better with the Arnolds and stuff. The charity log event that we do every year at Iron Age Strength in Winnipeg. Single lift event. We put it here on purpose.
Yeah, the 9th would be a little close.
A little close, I think. So maybe we'll do the 16th.
Yeah.
We put it that is the first thing in the season on purpose. It leads into our second event, which makes sense because it's just the idea of getting people used to like dipping their toe in the idea of competition, right? Just single lift, low pressure. It's for charity. The same thing as the Forge thing. The same thing as Deadlift for Dreams. We raised some good money last year. We raised $1,500 for the North End Women's Center last year. So we were very proud to do that. We just showed up and
Did you give all proceeds?
we gave all the proceeds. That's right. We did actually. Yeah, I'm very happy to say that we didn't rip anybody off. And we just showed up at the Women's Center. They didn't know that we were doing it, and we just said, "Here's $1,500."
That's even better.
Yeah, and they were like, thanks." Like
Yeah.
they just didn't even know what to do. And I didn't know honestly a lot about the North Women's Center. Somebody, I think it was one of our women, Willow. I think her mom works there or worked for there or something, and she kind of described what it does to us. And we said that sounds like someone that could use a little bit extra money. So we went with that this year. We have another one. We did a dog rescue place the
Wrestling?
first year. Yeah, dog wrestling the
Nice.
first time. Yeah. Not dog fighting. It's different. It's dog wrestling.
It's scripted.
Yeah, it's scripted. Yeah. Don't come kicking
What do you
down
mean
my door.
wrestling's not real?
Yeah. So the first year we did like a dog rescue thing. The second year we did this women's center, and the one coming up this year, we have something in mind, but we're not going to announce it until we're absolutely sure that's the direction we're going to go, or maybe something else or whatever. We'll see.
Yeah.
Something that's good and worthwhile for everyone to feel good about giving their money to.
Ukraine.
Yeah, maybe Ukraine. Yeah, she just got her nails clipped, so she's mad at everybody.
Oh, that's why she's.
Yeah, she's being a little bitch.
You
So
realize
we-
those dogs look depressed at all times.
She's been like, insane lately the way that she's
Nobody
doing
the
it.
same.
She's
Just looks you like.
slouching her shoulders
Yep.
and head low and just being.
I
a
find they
weirdo.
all look like Walter Matthau.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, she does for sure.
Look at Pee Wee Herman. They're petting that dog.
So it'll be a really simple day of competing, and I encourage everyone to get down there and do it at Iron Age Strength in Winnipeg,
.com.
in the heart of the West End. I'm getting a website made soon. I will have a website. Keep your eyes open for the cutting edge Iron Age website that's coming very soon.
You know, dude, you wouldn't believe how many small town gym, but how many memberships I get off my website.
I'm very aware how many memberships I've lost from not having one.
Yep.
Because people are like, we couldn't
Yep.
find you online.
And I
so-
did it for just because I was like, I have that during COVID, so let's make a website.
Yeah.
And the amount of leads we get from that is crazy for just a small place.
I get my little hacker friend at the gym to make me one so he can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I was
No one trusts it now.
I was like, I don't know. No, well, I mean,
Why don't you enter your information to be a member of that gym?
Yeah.
I think it's actually a very, very simple job that anybody could do, but
Security question: what's the color of your first vehicle? Why does this pertain to my gym membership?
I'm going to leave it to him because he knows a little something more with computers than I do, and he'll make me a website. So that's coming, and it's exciting. And then the next event that we have, I think that we set the dates. I believe we did.
Yeah, someone's asking me, when's the date for your novice comp? I don't know.
The 6th, right? The 6th?
Me and Tyler haven't figured out. Well, what is it? I don't know.
I think we said the 6th.
The 6th is Tartan Day.
Oh, we wouldn't want to do it on Tartan Day.
What the hell's Tartan Day?
I don't know.
I'm fine with April 6th.
Can you find out what Tartan Day is, there, B?
I want it.
April 6th. Okay, so we'll say that. April 6th, we're deciding on the fly here for you guys. April 6th, we'll have the novice competition. Devin, please, novice competition, go.
Training Grounds Novice Competition is brought to you by Strong and Petty Podcast.
There you go.
Yeah, so we'll do the novice comp there. Did we run 5 event last year? I think we ran a 5 event comp.
I think it was 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I already had Atala Martin looks at me. Can I do the novice comp again? Nope, Martin.
No,
tough
you cannot,
tips, buddy. You're
you cannot,
in the
Martin.
open now, buddy.
But he is starting programming with me, which I'm very
Is he?
excited about. Yes, yeah. I'm really looking forward to training with him because just love him.
He's a beauty.
That's it. Yeah.
Dude, the guy was there, and I made fun of Iron Age the whole day at all. I'm like, where's all these Iron Age guys supporting this event?
Yeah.
And Martin's like, I'm like, oh, they sent their diplomat.
Yeah, we sent somebody. We sent our thoughts and
First thing I
prayers.
walked in, he's Irish show. I'm like, where's the rest of the crew? But someone's master. Man, I wish I could have been there. I knew you were busy, but
Yeah,
I'm like, I had to say it.
We were all wanting to get down there, and
I was the only one from my gym, so I can't see much.
we had Martin there. I think Martin was actually like helping out, like, lending a hand, right?
You know how much you hurt Pat's feelings?
With last podcast.
You got that was the first episode. I think his wife was in the vehicle for and listened to the whole episode, and then we mentioned her name.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "Stupid Iron Age, freaking getting the thing," and I couldn't do. He couldn't make it to the Forge thing, and he's like, "Freaking lane drives from Roblin all the way up there. And I don't even make it 20 minutes." But he had a power outage on the farm, and the backup generator wasn't functioning, so he kept losing power in the house, and the heat kept dropping. So he's like, "I couldn't actually go."
He's like, I had to stand there and do this all day, otherwise it would have gotten too cold in the house.
Oh, that guy, he was just butthurt.
I had a good chuckle because him and Dan are always the first to repost anything from the Strong and Petty
Absolutely.
page.
Yeah, respect for that guy.
And when you posted that Smith machine that said proof that Pat squats in the Smith machine,
No,
I think the first time that he didn't repost it.
that was the bench press.
The bench.
That was Elite Fitness bench press I
It was
posted.
like the box squat on the bench press. Or something
No, I
like
meant
that.
when you posted the Smith machine.
I listened to that last episode and I was like, wow, we went way too hard on Pat for no
No,
reason.
I had posted one about him box squatting in the Elite Fitness bench press.
bench. You didn't like
The
that one?
amount of comments I got from his own personal friends, like Juice messaged me, said, "This is the funniest fucking thing I have ever seen." He's like, "I laughed so hard." All his buddies are messaging me like, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
Yeah, we went pretty hard on him last time, so hey, love you,
I
Pat.
mean, good on Pat. That guy takes a lot of
Respect.
shit.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? We said before, you don't
But
get to
shit
be
flows
handsome.
downhill,
Yeah,
and
you don't
he's-
get to be handsome, jacked, strong, have nice hair, have a beautiful wife, have a family.
Like if he was tall enough to go on carnival rides, it's just not fair. You have everything.
you have to be shorted something.
Yeah.
I was hurting feelings yesterday. We have a group chat and Janae's on there and Pat. And they always make fun of me because they're stronger than me now and I suck. But they were ragging on me yesterday and I was getting all butthurt. And Pat had made some comment or Janae made some comment. Because, that was it. Brian, Saturday night, Brian crossed the line a bit. He's like, we were talking about, she was making fun of us for our warm-ups, how long it takes Brian to get going with foam rolling and this and that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, because you're a professional bodybuilder," and it just like it struck a nerve, eh? And we're all sitting there, and he was gonna take it one step further, but he stopped. I'm like, "Oh, good thing." And then Sunday we're in the gym, and of course she snaps a picture or puts an Instagram of me, Pat, and Brian warming up and bullshitting, typical strongman guys. And then the group chat later, I'm like, they're making fun. I'm like, man, there's a lot of smack talk coming from people who only play second place. Because I'm like, there's only one first place picture on the wall, and that's mine. Because Janae got a pro card getting second,
Right.
and Pat got second at nationals, and I beat him at Manitoba's, right? So I just retired before they got good.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So I was just like, it's a lot of shit talk coming from people who only play second, and I'm like, oh, that's hurting feelings. I was just that. They were hurting my feelings, so I had to go deep.
Yeah.
If I was smart, I would have quit before Dan starts beating me. I could have just.
I want to focus on coaching now.
If only I continued on. Who knows how far I could have gone, but I didn't.
Yeah. So back to the novice show, I guess.
Yeah.
5 events. Anybody looking to get into the sport, this is the comp. No
Yeah.
pressure, fun events. Weights are really light. Open weight class. There's no weight classes. It's just open. First-time competitors only.
Yes, we'll say we're gonna say
Or with discretion.
soft yes on that with
Yeah.
the promoter's discretion. If you've done a competition and you did one competition 10 years ago, or you've done
Yes.
you did, you know what I mean? Like if you feel like this is a really an appropriate competition for you, send me or Devin a message and we'll tell you if it is or not.
What about Rob Komet?
I don't know that guy. Everyone knows this guy.
You don't
except for
know?
me. No. I think I told you though that I was working the security gig, and the girl that I was working with, like the bartender, was like, "Yeah, I know someone who's a strongman," like, or my dad knows someone who's a strongman. And It was that guy, but I don't
He's
know.
the Manitoba version of Ultimate Warrior.
Well, I don't know who he is. I don't know him.
Is that about?
He used to
that's
come
about
with
the best way to
face
sum
paint.
it up.
Didn't he?
He
used
always
to-
face painted. Yeah.
Really?
His
Yeah.
last show was at Winkler. I competed with him at Winkler, and same thing. He came out and underneath the eyes. And
I used to tell
Yeah.
Amo, I was like, it'd be really cool if you did like a native war face paint, whatever. And like at the time, I was being very genuine. I thought that'd be really cool. And then I realized what a fucking asshole I sound like now. Be like, it'd be cool if you painted your face like an Indian guy, you know? Like, just like this fucking annoying white kid telling you what you should do with your like. He's like, I don't even want to do that though.
Yeah. The thing is, ultimately,
It would look. Cool.
I got to tread some water here. It kind of is the same if someone came to you and was like, you should really push the Nordic thing.
Yeah. That's
And-
right.
and
that's
really
the way that I
sell
thought
it
of
and push it.
Because
I know that's your
genuinely looks
intent.
Cool, yeah.
But for some reason, it's completely different.
It's a bad look
What
when
would we
I tell him
push?
that.
Jeez. Well, I've got the German background, and I don't know if I can push some of the
You
historical.
go pretty far back for it
just
to be
shaved.
appropriate.
Speaking
What
of which, Tartan Day celebrates all things Scottish.
Sounds awful.
Oh, Scottish.
Yeah, let's not do that.
The best cooking in the world.
Everybody's competing. Everybody's competing in kilts.
Yeah, no. Well, so yeah, wait, was that that was the log day, tartan day?
No, the 6th is the
Blood-
novice day.
Novice Day.
Oh, novice day is tartan day.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, hey.
new rule: everyone competes, has to compete.
Caber toss.
Maybe that'll be the rule: is that if you want to come back and compete a second time in the novice competition, you have to wear your kilt.
No underwear.
No gitch.
None.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Martin, no gitch.
No gitch for you.
I
buddy.
know you haven't seen that thing in a while, but we will.
We I think we have like 5 guys from our gym who are going to do the novice competition already.
Do you?
Yeah, who have never competed before, so we're really excited for
Man,
that.
that's sweet. That's
B
sweet.
will do it probably, right?
B should.
I could try.
Great content for Whiskey Tango podcast.
Yeah.
I
You
think-
should ask your co-host, but then he can push you out a
Then he
week
can
out.
push you out last
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I love that idea.
You know what? This past week, one today and one in the middle of last week, 2 women at full scene, both of them 6 feet-ish,
Wow.
shoulders like as wide as anyone at this desk here. One of them I watched train and like trains really well. And then I made a quick correction. I was like, you have to apologize. Like I've coached forever and blah, blah, blah. Do you mind me giving you some advice? And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, well, it looks like you do.
Looks like you do.
I'm like, just try this. And she was very friendly. But these 2 women, I'm like, how do I, as a stranger who's not involved in the sport anymore, try to like steer them to be like, you should look at my 2 buddies, and this might be something that you'd instantly be
Yeah, it could,
fairly
you could
good at.
fall for it.
The one today, and I say this with all due respect, looked like a linebacker.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like,
that's cool.
Stands upright,
Yeah.
big ass,
Big
broad shoulders,
strong,
looks
yeah.
strong. I left before she started lifting.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how do I steer these 2 in your guys' direction?
Yeah. A
be
lot more
amazing.
body strength.
Yeah.
That'd
It
be
used to
sweet.
be 20 years ago in high school being, oh, you look like a linebacker. Now I see a chick, I'm like, that chick's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
we got to get her in the sport.
Yeah, well, I say that all the
All
time.
the times change, right?
When I see a big jacked girl, if I'm like, "Hey, you look really jacked," they're like, "Thank you." Like it's it's a big compliment
Yeah.
now. Like you're extremely muscular. They're just like, "That's exactly what I'm looking for." That's
Yeah.
great, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a new client. She started, this is her 3rd week. And you go through all the intake stuff and this and that, and you're used to a lot of the typical answers. So I kind of assume I know what I'm getting with her. She's late 40s, whatever. And she's like, I just have 2 real requests. I'm like, okay. She's like, smaller thighs and smaller ass.
Weird.
And I'm like, did you just have a stroke? What do you mean smaller ass? You're the first person in 20 years
I've never heard
to
that.
ask me for a smaller ass.
No
She's
kidding.
like, I hate it. She's like, I can't buy jeans. Years of gymnastics. I'm just like,
Wow.
and she's very, very fit woman and just hates having an ass and thighs.
Interesting.
And I'm like, I don't even know if I remember how to do it that way.
You've never had a guy ask that. Like no one's ever asked that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, walk downhill everywhere? Like,
You ever thought of walking on your hands?
wear high heels backwards? Like, I don't know.
That's pretty funny.
Oh,
So yeah, so to put a cap on that, we got the first two competitions, the one
Yeah.
the one real competition and one charity event coming up in the strongman season. So mark your calendars on those. We do have tentatively right now. I'm not going to say where or dates or anything because we're not 100% on any of them yet. But we do tentatively have both of our qualifiers and provincials booked, and probably at least one or two others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to be like tentatively. We can say you're going to have one end of May.
Yep.
You're going to have one beginning of July.
Yep.
It's, hope that one's been a staple. We're hoping it should be coming back.
Yeah.
And then the provincial is probably going to be
Provincials are still
sometime in August.
up in the air a little bit, and hey, we are open to the this is the beautiful part of us being so accessible to our people here in Strongman Corp Manitoba. Let us know when you think the provincial should be. Like when we're gonna have our last qualifier Canada Day.
Well, yeah, I want to say Lane is working on one up north.
That'd be Pro-Am, I think he was talking about for that one.
Yeah, Robin. Yeah, he's got a ton of people on board.
Yeah, so that would be cool.
He's doing a heck of a job.
If he gets that one, I'll be doing that one. So there's a few things that are kind of floating around that are possible right now. But let us know and comment to the thing on the YouTube video or whatever, and let us know what you think would be a good weekend or day or whatever.
What do you think?
We're not necessarily going to go with what you say, but I'm just saying if people weigh in, it might be helpful to get that information.
What do you think? Like Nationals is always mid-October. You think last provincial date should be somewhat 8 weeks out? Give you at least an 8-week prep into Nationals?
Like 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah. Like 12 might because our season's so short. 12 we'd be running into July for provincials.
Yeah.
But I think you at least need like a bit of a deload off your last comp, at least for a week or two, and then at least a 6 week going into Nationals minimum.
That being said, 6 isn't unreasonable.
No, that's what I'm thinking. So if you have 2 weeks to deload out and then you run a 6 week block, you can get there.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be.
And we
people
kind of
just have to be aware of the fact that it's like, hey, it'd be sweet having 12 weeks for every competition, but it's not going to happen.
But we've always tailored, like this last year, we tailored our provincials in very similar style events to nationals. So you're kind of in the same trainings. People didn't know the national events, but we ran every nationals event, at least one of those events in each comp. So people touched the implements throughout the year.
Right.
Without we didn't tell them what the events were. We kept that secret to make sure no one got an advantage. But we sprinkled them in throughout the year, so people had a chance to touch implements. Right. And I think other provinces took note of that and did a lot of the similar thing.
Yeah, and we didn't decide the events of nationals till after the season had started. So, but they so to use an example for my own season, like I'll find out if I'm going to CSM on July 2nd, I believe, because it's a 2-day competition now. And then CSM is the
third week in August.
The third week of August.
So
yeah,
so you got 7 weeks.
So it's not a long time, and so what I urge people to think about when it's like, oh, this seems too close or this seems too close. First of all, we're working with like a finite amount of time, so just fucking deal with it. But it's also it's getting you ready for that next thing too, where there's not always going to be a full training cycle to prepare you for the thing. I use the Magnus qualifier as an example. I think we found out like 3 weeks out that we were doing it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no time to train for that. Yeah. All you can do is just kind of hope for the best and hope that you're strong enough just in general. So, good practice. So let us know what you think for provincials, and we'll weigh the pros and cons of whatever dates.
Yep.
There's the age-old saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's a good point.
And I do believe that.
Yep.
Especially in the in-season.
And you look at, like, Jeffers is a great example.
Yep. Yeah. He competes on a whim and does great. Kelsey.
There's others out there. Those two actually stand out, though. If there's a competition every weekend.
Dan, those are all three of them are examples of people who step up and just do every event.
Yeah. Like, if right now there was announced there's a competition mid-January, those three names
would do it.
Wouldn't complain about it's only this long because they stay ready year-round.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't train like I used to anymore, but when I was training, you just kind of believe, you're trying to peak for certain dates.
Of course.
But if you're always pushing and you're right nutrition and right rest, you can do a show on a week's notice.
All you gotta do is get familiar with those implements.
Yeah. So you think of those names as guys like, if you want to talk about, well, Dan's on the pro scale now too, but you want to talk about, say, that guy like Jeffers, who in my mind is starting to get to that next level, is that he's just good at the events. Like he's competed so much, and he pays incredibly close attention to the details of events and stuff. But he's just very prepared for every event because he's just done them all 100 times.
I just can't grasp the progress him him and Tristan and even Colton have made in the last year.
Yeah.
Like the gap they put. It blows my mind what the kind of progress they're on. And they had actually, I'll tell you, they had half throw out at their gym this weekend in Alberta.
Yeah.
What
What amazing timing that they just opened their gym out there and then half throw rolls through.
Yeah,
Like,
within a couple weeks of
I
opening.
need a place to come train this week.
I guess because he must have been out visiting the wife's family, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
That would have been.
That's where I think she's from.
She's around there.
Someone told me like Red Deer or something like that, so it could be anywhere in that area. But yeah, so he says he's like training there for 4 days, filming a bunch of content. Like, what more could you ask for?
You were a
As
big,
somebody who just opened a strongman gym. Like,
you
that's
were a big
fucking amazing.
proponent of conjugate training. And how much time, if you're running conjugate, how much time do you need to peak for a powerlifting show? What did Dave Tate always? I swear he always said 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Then you can be peak for a show.
Yeah.
Because you're always you're close to being ready.
Yeah, and like
If you're running conjugate year round, right, or whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah. Deload weeks. A lot of people think that's like a week completely off.
Yeah.
I would never do that. You know what I mean? You scale back to like 60%. You can keep a certain level of intensity just with reduced weight, and like 4 to 6 weeks should be enough time to, because if you're benching 405, just call it for simplicity's sake, and you're starting your new cycle, it's not like you're not going to bench 405 anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just trying to improve that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So something comes up short notice, you're at least hitting your PR.
Yeah.
You're not going like, if you plan this big 12-week phase, and then you have like 4 to 6 weeks of lighter training, that period you might not hit it.
Yeah.
I mean that's my stance on it. Other people will debate it or argue it, but
I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm just looking to make sure that I can. They just put some cool information today in the pros group chat, and I want to make sure that I can. Yep. Okay. Doesn't say I can't say it. So just because we were talking about westerns and such, so one thing that I like, because you say, what we were talking about was the leaps and bounds that guys in the West have made. You said Tristan and Jeffers and Colton and those guys, and Sean and Dan and myself and Isaac. There's so many guys now that
I miss on a lot when I say that.
No, but we don't want to sit here and have to list every person every single time. But those are 3 guys who are making some incredible leaps and bounds with what they're doing. And as a result of that, the whole Western scene has gotten so much better. It's not like we've talked about before in the past. It's not like a secret that it was kind of like the West was like sort of the redheaded stepchild, a little bit of the strongman scene, where there was a couple token spots. Maybe there's 1 or 2 guys like a Scott Cummin or a Dom who were like, yeah, you belong here, but we'll give a few more just so everybody can be represented, whatever. Yeah. Provic, those guys. I don't want to start listing names, but there's been enough guys that belong there. But there's also, they always felt like they were giving some charity work, I think, a little bit. So it was always.
Let's call it what it is, Alberta and BC.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So it was always 8 or 9, I guess. I don't forget what it was, but there was X number of guys from the East, so that includes like Ontario, East Coast, and Quebec. Mm-hmm. And there was 3 spots on the West.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say it was either 3 or 4.
The podium. Yeah. So if you podiumed at Westerns, you got to go to Canadians, which is how I did it, and it's extremely difficult now. Like I said, there's last year with Dan still kind of on the come up that he's on right now. We had a top 5 that was extremely tight, and like Isaac wasn't there, and like there's just like there was a lot more that could have mixed up those points a lot. Right. So there's now going to be like up to 7 guys next year where it's like a pick 'em of who could be on that podium. Yeah. So officially they've made it so that now there's 4 Western spots going to. That's Canadians. Awesome. Yeah, so it's a really huge deal, and I know that for a lot of people that won't mean a whole lot, but it really is a big deal to the Western Canadian strongman, especially the guys who are on that pro level. That there's now 1 more spot for guys who can prove themselves and be able to get there, and not for nothing, it's not crazy to think that maybe Tristan or Jeffers win CSM sometime soon. You know what I mean?
I think that's very doable.
It's certainly not a crazy thought, and then all of a sudden we get 5 Western guys going to CSM because the winner automatically goes, and then the next 4 Western guys would go. Yeah. So it's a really great time if you're ready for the spot, and if you're willing to push yourself to get to that spot to get to CSM now as a Western guy. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And I say that as if it's like 4 spots makes it easier. There's 4 spots because it's incredibly competitive, and it's super super difficult to earn those top spots. Yeah. But I'm super excited. We're doing Westerns will be on Vancouver Island next year, which is awesome
that'll
in
be
its own
fun.
way. Like that'll be really fun.
That's
so
pretty neat.
yeah, so I'll definitely stick around for a few. Me and Gian will probably
You
stay
ever
for a
been?
couple days afterwards.
Where?
Vancouver Island.
yeah.
I never have, but
Yeah.
It's been many years since I've been there, and it's I know it's a beautiful place, and I can't wait to spend time there, and have a little bit of downtime there maybe afterwards after Westerns.
You'll have to train in one of those altitude training masks
Yeah, no
that
shit.
work really well.
Yeah, those things that
he
really
needs to
work.
breathe any heavier than he is now.
Those things that really work
Toe
well.
shoes and altitude training.
So yeah, lots of huge news for Westerns coming up. Going to be a beautiful location for it, and
That's fantastic.
4 guys going Western, going to Canadians.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like how could you?
It's actually a rough year for traveling.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
I've got the Arnold's I'm going to go to with you guys with Pat, like his Pat's competing. I've always wanted to go to the Arnold anyways.
yeah.
So I told him I'll go to that. Then we got OSG, and I've got 3 people competing there, 3 athletes of mine. I mean, I don't charge enough to justify, but I'm like, I'm going to be there because I just want to support my athletes.
yeah, I just want to go.
And then it's kind of like, well, if Westerns happens in Vancouver, I know my wife would kill me. Oh no, but that's the thing. I always run the same comp here, so I can't
Right,
even
so
go
wouldn't
watch.
Go, yeah.
I can't. If all some Pat decides, hey, I'm going to go try Westerns, or someone decides, hey, I'm going to go try it out, I'd want to go. That's crazy. Like
It's gonna be a
it's,
pricey year for sure.
it's yeah. Like I guarantee it'll be $15,000-$20,000 in travel fees between hotels and everything else by the time I'm done
Oh yeah,
going to shows.
I
And I think I'll make $4,000 in coaching. It's a smart business.
Good business
I
model.
should show a loss. I shouldn't have to pay taxes in my gym this year. I'm writing all those off.
I did an interview. So the circuit's kind of trying to increase its online presence and all that, right? So they did interviews with some of the athletes. So I sat with JF and talked to him for, I don't know, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Super easy guy to talk to. You know what I mean? Especially because maybe it surprises me because I've always been like, oh, it's JF Carl. You know what I mean? Like he's very monolithic and like just you see him as this guy where it's like he's the fucking GOAT, right? Like it's hard to imagine yourself just sitting and having a nice conversation with him. But he's like super friendly, super easy to talk to. So we had a nice chat for about 35 minutes. That was where he announced the 4th Western spot. I fucking got super psyched when he announced that. And then they lost the video. So unfortunately, they messaged me like, "Was there any chance that you recorded it?" And I was like, "No, I didn't."
Do we have the same producer?
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
So unfortunately, that won't be happening. But that's where I got the information from, and it was announced.
The fact that they can't see you to defend yourself just makes it so much fun. It's just a voice in the back.
that moment.
What am I going to say at that point?
Sorry, our producer has a show now. Go ahead.
It'd be a hell of a lot funnier.
Yeah.
Something to say.
Oh, it looks like he entrusts people too. Weird.
missed it.
JF giving you that news would be like Aaron Lewis calling Devin directly to say there's a concert in Winnipeg.
You guys laugh, man. I literally have looked at flights. I'm like, I'm gonna hit up another concert, man. Those are my people.
Is he not like North Dakota would be a hot spot for him? I would think. Is that not somewhere he
Nothing.
goes?
It's not even on his tour dates.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, or else I'd be there.
North Dakota's a nice little blue collar place.
Yeah, I could see him being very popular out there.
I remember I went and competed in Williston, North Dakota one time, and I was sitting with my girlfriend at the time, and we were sitting in this restaurant. It's called I think it's called Mom's or something. It's a really nice little restaurant, and she just kind of looked around and she was like, "Everyone here looks like you." And I looked up and it's just all big fat white guys with beards and camel hats, and I was like, "They do all look like me."
If anybody listens to our podcast knows Aaron Lewis, tell him what's up.
Yeah,
Say
tell him. Yeah, make sure you tell him Devin wants to suck him off
Yeah,
real
Devin
dry.
traveled 1,000 miles to see you. Actually, more
Start
than that.
tagging him in all our posts.
Yeah,
Every
absolutely.
listener tag Aaron
Yeah,
Lewis.
make sure.
Send me an autograph guitar string or some stupid.
Yeah, that's what he needs: an autographed guitar string.
He can't even autograph.
Devin's like, if I can hold my penis to piss, Aaron Lewis can autograph it.
I'm
Wow,
never getting that guitar string.
I don't know what the time is, but that's the perfect time to end it on that. I would say. All right. So, anything more to add on your guys' parts?
Nah, I'll hang myself in my truck.
Okay, you're good.
Add my mic drop for the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe don't say anything more after that one. Okay, on behalf of these guys and myself and our producer B, thanks guys for watching, and see you guys next week.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, is it Christmas? Wait.
Oh,
Yeah,
we won't have an
yeah,
episode next
this'll
week,
be-
guys.
This is our Christmas. Quick, somebody get something Christmassy on.
I don't
Throw
know
a
if-
Santa hat on.
Yeah, no, it is Christmas next week.
Oh God. Okay. Hey, Merry Christmas to everybody, because we're not going to be probably doing one over the holidays. I think.
No,
Or
I
are
think
we?
we'll have to take it off. Yeah.
Okay. So then, in that
Yeah.
case, Merry Christmas and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you guys
And
after
say
the
ho
holidays.
ho ho to your mom.
Yeah. There you go from Devin Penner.